So the idea is that we have to modify the classes from Foxdot or Renardo the same on the super collider side. Modify one bit of code here, and modify another bit of code in the Foxdot or Renardo library. Okay, and with both those, we can just have a Renardo or Foxdot that has several outputs, for example, 8 outputs, and then we say in the code that we want to use, for example, if I say I have a pluck instrument, I can choose which output I want to use for this for recording this instrument. Okay, so I'm going to stop the screen sharing and start another screen sharing. Okay, because I was using a virtual machine to start from scratch, but I'm just showing how it works on my machine, so I can just do a demo of the thing. Okay. Sorry. Up. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sharing my whole screen now. Okay, I'm going to start a code editor and the terminal. Okay. So first thing here is to modify the super collider class. The super collider class is on Linux in this folder. On Windows, it's in app data, and on macOS, it's in your application library folder. It's the super collider preference folder. So I'm going. So first, I have to modify this file, or the Renardo version at the same thing. You just have to replace Foxdot by Renardo. So, for example, if I edit this, downloaded quarks. Okay, I go to the folder. I've got no, sorry. Renardo. If you install Renardo normally, it's in the extension folder, not the downloaded quarks folder. So if you're using Foxdot, it's in downloaded quarks, but if you use Renardo, it's extensions folder. And then you have the basic this file describes the Renardo module inside Super Collider that we are launching when we launch Renardo. So if I edit this file, I got a bunch of configuration code. And here I got a number of output channels of my Renardo. For example, I used a lot of channels recently, so I can use 16. All right, that's better. Okay. I save the file and I quit. Okay, then when I use Renardo, and I start this, okay, I started this Super Collider backend for Renardo, and now it should have 16 outputs. To see that, I need to open any, on Linux, any Jack client. On macOS, you can use your audio client. I don't know the details about it right now, but and on Windows, it's less easy. But so now your Super Collider should have 16 outputs. And I'm going to show you that here. Yeah, my Super Collider has now 16 outputs. And this is the output of Renardo. Okay? And then I need to modify, that's the first modification, create these two lines. Input channel should be interesting if you want to use multiple inputs, but we are only using multiple outputs here. So number of output bus channels. Okay. And then I'm going to modify the file library effects util and add these 4 lines at the end of the file. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to open the editor and I need to find my Renardo. That was the hard part. Before that, I messed up. This is the Renardo that is installed on my system, okay, that I use to perform, etc. If you install it with pipex, we have to find a Renardo lib and find it where pipex has installed this library. All right. Depending on your configuration, can be in different places, but you have to, if you use pipex to install the library, you need to Google where pipex is installing the library, and then you'll find for probably inside packages in some hidden folder somewhere. And then you've got this Renardo lib file with all the files of the library. And we have this effects that we create, and an util.py util.py code file. And in this util.py, you have all the Super Collider code for all the effects like pitch bend, striate, filters, yeah, all the effects that you can use in Renardo or Foxdot. That's the same code actually. For example, room or reverb stuff, etc., etc. And you go all the way down this file, and at the end, before this those lines, you add these 4 lines, like you create a new effects that's an output bus, and it has to be after all the other effects, because these effects are loaded in the order of the file, and this output bus need to be the last effect in your bus order. Okay. And if you modify that, you have to restart Renardo for the change to take effect. Yeah. So I had already put this in the code, so I don't need to restart it. But yeah, you see, you have to find, either you install Renardo in development mode like that, or you have to find your pipex installation of Renardo or your Foxdot installation either, or I don't know. And you find this library effects util.py. You put this for I'm gonna add it as a standard feature, definitely. It's just I'm sorry it's so messy this explanation. Also because remotely it's hard to feel if you're following me or but yeah, the idea that we add a super collider effect here and then okay, I start Renardo, and for example, I start Fox.editor. Okay. I don't know. No. And I can test normal output. I don't know, bleep. Okay, it works. I don't know if you hear it, but it's working. And now we have okay, we have the first out, the default output is the first two. So I connected output 1, 2 to my sound card. So when I play my bleep, it's just normally working. But if I play, I don't know, I can use some notes and durations. And, all right. Okay. And then I can choose what output to use. For example, output 2 means that I'll be using, rather than the first two one, I'll be using 3 and 4. And now I can disconnect 1 and 2. Okay. Ah, yeah. Sorry. Increase font size. It's not working. Ah, shit. Yeah, this still this bug. Okay, I'm trying with Pulsar, so you can read. Okay. So I'm using, yeah, Pulsar extension. So, okay. If I just use normal synth it goes out to first 1, 2 output. Okay. And now I can connect the other output 3, 4 and use output equal to. All right. So I can have several. No. All right. Okay, now it's going to be a bit loud, but I don't know. Okay. So now I have 4 instruments, and I can put this effect here. If I play all 4 at the same time, and I connect all the output, each instrument comes from different outputs. Okay? And now I can just add another software, any DAW, any digital audio workstation software. I'm using Reaper that you can install on Linux, and that's a great software. Okay. So now I have Reaper with a bunch of inputs and outputs. To change the number of input and outputs, I can just go to the preference of Reaper, and I can change the number of input. Like if I want to use 16 and 16, for example. Okay. And now I restart Reaper. Okay. Now I have a Reaper with 16 inputs. So I'm gonna, for example, plug in all of that. Okay. And now I create different tracks. Okay, it takes some time because I've got track template. That's shit. Okay, I created four instruments. I create 4 tracks. I got 4 tracks, and each track I'm choosing which input I got. So first track I'm using input 2 and 3. No, 3 and 4. So here in Reaper, you've got the mixer here and the recording thing here. The track control. This is called track control panel, and this is called mixer control panel. Okay. So I choose my first instrument is this one. And if I look at my code, it's the bleep. So I can rename it bleep, pluck, bass, and drums. And okay, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, and 9, 10. Okay. Normally, I activate all this, and now you see that it's playing. All the four Renardo is playing. So all the 4 instruments are playing in different stereo outputs, and I connected them to Reaper. And now in Reaper, shit, sorry. Yeah. And now in Reaper, I have all instruments playing separately in different tracks. And I don't hear nothing. I don't know if you hear anything, but I don't hear nothing because I need now to connect Reaper here to the sound card. Do you hear something when I play? All right, nice. It's not good music because I'm not very inspired right now, but all right. Yeah, it's very Fox Dirty music. Okay, I'm going to put this a bit down. And so you see that I have 4 separate tracks, and now I can just, I don't know, record this. I wanted to propose this workshop because I was recording an album with my friend last week using Foxdot. So I did this setup. I used this setup a lot in a very complex variation. For example, I can. All right. Okay, I think I'm done. I showed you the thing I wanted to show. Save all. And now I'm not playing Renardo. I'm just replaying the track by track recording, and I can just mute. Okay. All right. Did you follow me? Do you want me to re-explain something or clarify something? Or I don't know if you've already tried to record Foxdot like in a kind of professional way, or I don't know. Okay, did you follow along this demo? I'm sorry for the mess at the beginning. It's the thing that there is so many different ways to install Renardo, etc. But the idea is really that you have to find this library location and modify this effects util.py file and add these 4 lines at the end. Okay. Yeah, I can use Elwoom as a manager because I use Scala because I find it more practical for some reason. But yeah, I use Pipewire, so I can use Elwoom. Yeah. Also, what you can do that is pretty interesting is that when you have this, I could add to this workshop that I now that I have 4 tracks, I could use VST effects on each track. For example, I can add a proprietary software reverb like supermassive kind of reverb, like with a lot of things that are hard to do in Super Collider. And now if I play all 4 tracks, okay. Well, you see, and I'm really working kind of regularly on how to integrate Foxdot with Reaper a lot. It's really not easy to use for now. We tried it last month when I came to Berlin, but I really want to bridge the DAW world and the world of normal plugin that people use for music production with the Foxdot Renardo world of live coding. And so you asked Jens if I want to integrate this directly into Renardo, and it's really planned. I really plan to add that, so we don't have to hack around to make this kind of thing work. But and I also I would like this routing of output being done automatically, like each new, for example, you create 16 channel here, and each you don't have to specify this output parameter, and each instrument automatically goes to a different bus. That's the idea of the integration I want to reach. I always play Renardo with this setup, you know. I always use Renardo with some effects like that, and also with multi-channel stuff. I do very complex stuff combining Reaper and Renardo, and I want to make this installable for everyone, but I'm struggling with that. And not finding a lot of time to work on that feature, but it's going to be ready at some point. All right. Yes. You mean to have some GUI to configure all those things? Okay. Yes, actually, I want to extend that was the purpose of this TUI. This TUI is meant to be extended, so every part of the setup can be added and diagnosed from a view that you can see that every part is connected somehow and everything works. It's not, I don't want a completely automated installer. I prefer that we have an overview interface that we can have to diagnose if all things are working, configured, and connected together. So it's more modular. I've iterated on this interface, this GUI. So in the next Renardo release, it will be a bit more a bit more understandable and designed in a way that's also because I fixed some issues with the workflow for installing Renardo and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I also set up a jack connection automatically with I use the Python Jack library to do that, but it's only working on Linux, and I'm really trying to target all three OSs. Like, so I don't know. And this part, I mean, this part of connective music software together is really not multi-platform. It's really different on each platform. So I have to. But yeah, maybe I should focus on Linux first. Maybe I can have a straightforward way to doing it on Linux and explain how people on other OSs can hack around to make this work. Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's really hard to have all this work on different OSs. It's a bit of system programming, and I'm kind of new to system programming, so I'm struggling a bit. Okay. Yeah, we can finish if you don't have any question. I hope you've been interested with this workshop. And that you can reproduce this if you like on your setup. And okay, thanks for your attention, and see you around. Maybe at some point in September or October, I'll come to Berlin for the meeting and all. Okay, thanks.